it was just another walk home until the silence felt alive. A voice called his name, but no one was there. Shadows moved where light should not exist. The whisper grew louder, pleading, not threatening. Don't go forward. One more step, and he would have vanished into nothing. It wasn't death chasing him. It was a warning saving him. As he heard before, death wasn't trying to kill him. It was trying to save him. And it whispered, "This is only the beginning." Dusk settles over the lonely cliff, the air thick with crimson fog. Ethan stands at the edge, clutching a small bouquet of flowers, his hazel eyes reflecting unease. The ocean roars below, waves crashing violently as if warning him to turn back. But he cannot. Not tonight. NTHE glow of his phone faintly lights his pale face. His heart pounds, and the silence is broken only by the whisper of the wind. Yet, there's something else. A murmur, faint, almost human. Ethan freezes, breath shallow, as the sound curls through the fog. A voice he can't explain. Behind him, faint silhouettes stir within the mist. They linger, motionless, watching. Ethan grips the flowers tighter, his knuckles white, a chill crawling down his spine. The whisper grows clearer now, carrying a single haunting word: leave. Ethan stumbles back from the cliff's edge, the whisper echoing in his ears. His phone flickers, the screen glitching as though touched by unseen hands. The mist coils tighter around him, suffocating, pressing close like a living thing. NHE whispers into the darkness, "Who's there?" His voice trembles, but no answer comes. Only the low hum of the wind. Then, a sharp crack splits the silence. A shadow darts through the fog, too quick, too blurred to follow. Ethan's pulse races, his breath turning shallow. NTHE flowers slip from his grip, falling soundlessly into the mist. For a moment, all is still. Then, the whisper returns, louder, urgent, carrying across the crashing waves. They are coming. Ethan's eyes widen, his body frozen, as the silhouettes in the fog begin to move. Anfris, Ethan stumbles backward, his sneakers scraping against the damp rocks. The fog thickens until even his own hands look ghostly pale in the gloom. His phone screen blinks one last time before going completely black, leaving him swallowed in darkness. In a distant sound echoes. The crunch of footsteps. Slow, deliberate, coming closer. Ethan's heart pounds so loudly he fears it will give him away. He turns his head frantically, but the mist twists everything into shadows. There's no way to tell what's real and what isn't. Then, from the veil of fog, a figure emerges, faceless, draped in shadow, its outline flickering as though the night itself is wearing a body. The whisper crawls into Ethan's ears again, harsher this time. Run, before it's too late. His breath catches, his body frozen between fight and flight, almost soothing. Each voice pulls him in a different direction, like unseen hands tugging at his fate. He stumbles, nearly falling, his palms scraping against jagged stone. Then, silence. A silence so heavy it feels alive. Ethan looks up and freezes. Just ahead, through the swirling mist, a faint lantern glows. Its golden light flickers as if it's waiting for him, promising safety or luring him into something far darker. He hesitates, torn between fear and desperate hope, as the voices fade into a single chilling word: choose. Ethan takes a trembling step toward the lantern, his hazel eyes fixed on its glow, as if it's the only anchor left in this endless nightmare. The mist curls around his legs like cold hands, pulling him back, but something in the golden light feels alive, beckoning. As he edges closer, the whispers grow sharper, more frantic. Some beg him to stop, others urge him forward. His chest tightens, his breath short and ragged, torn between trust and terror. Behind him, The footsteps are louder now, dozens of them, marching steadily, as though the fog itself carries an army of shadows. NTHE lantern sways once, as though nodding. Then the voice, clearer than ever, cuts through the chaos. "Ethan, don't look back." His blood runs cold. Every muscle in his body locks. For the first time, he knows. This voice is not trying to scare him. It's trying to save him. But will he listen or fall to the fate that waits just a step behind? Ethan's heart was still racing. The terrifying tale of that night had shaken his mind. In the morning, he thought maybe it was all just a bad dream. But on his phone screen, the same warning was flashing. Don't ignore the signs. Everything inside the house seemed fine, but he could feel the heaviness in the air. The branches of the trees outside the window were swaying as if some unheard voice was touching them. Ethan tried to convince himself, but a strange restlessness was growing inside him. NHE picked up the diary and began to write. "Everything seems fine this morning, but I can still hear the echo of that tale." His pen stopped, as if someone had held his hand to stop it. A cold rustle brushed against his ears, and then the same voice, faint, silent, yet clear. "Ethan, time is running out." Asterisk. Ethan's body shivered with cold, but the room was completely closed. He panicked, shut the diary, and looked toward the window. The darkness of the night was still in his mind, as if despite the morning, the darkness wouldn't leave him. NHE picked up his phone and started dialing numbers. Maybe talking to a friend would ease his heart, but every call either dropped or only a strange, static sound was heard. Amidst the static, the same tale echoed, "Understand the signs, Ethan, or it will be too late." Anxiously, he looked in the mirror, and for a moment, a shadow appeared behind him. He froze for a moment, held his breath and turned around, but there was nothing behind. Just silence, and within that silence, an invisible gaze that was staring at him. Ethan opened the diary again, and this time, the color of the words had changed. The ink was deep red, as if written in blood. Every sentence was saying just one thing: time is running out around you. NHI's hands were trembling. He couldn't understand how the diary knew the secrets of his life. With every page turned, his heartbeat grew faster, as if someone was sitting in that room with him, writing it all. Suddenly, the room's light went out for a moment. Only the red glow of the diary remained. Ethan's eyes tried to see in the darkness, and then he felt someone standing right behind his shoulder. He wanted to turn and look, but his feet felt rooted to the ground. Ethan gathered courage and slowly turned his head, but there was no one behind. Just a cold wind brushed his face and passed. His lips were dry, and he shut the diary tightly. NBUT. A new sentence had now emerged on the cover of the diary. "Tomorrow night will be your final test." Ethan's breathing grew heavier. He threw the diary onto the table and went to stand by the window. Outside, the darkness was dense, and only one thing was shining: a red light coming from afar. A strange fear had taken root in his heart, but along with it, a feeling too, that whatever was happening, it was all part of his fate. That night, Ethan understood there was no turning back now. Ethan gathered the courage and slowly turned his head, but there was no one behind. Only a cold breeze brushed his face and passed. His lips were dry, and he shut the diary tightly. NBUT. A new sentence had now emerged on the cover of the diary. "Tomorrow night will be your final test." Ethan's breathing grew heavier. He threw the diary onto the table and went to stand by the window. Outside, the darkness was thick, and only one thing was shining: a red light coming from afar. A strange fear had settled in his heart, but along with it, a feeling too, that whatever was happening, it was all a part of his fate. That night, Ethan understood there was no way back now. The next morning, Ethan felt a strange chill in the air. His diary opened on its own, and new words were written. "Today, the truth will come out." His lips dried up, and his heart began to race. All this was beyond his control. Still, he understood that now there was no way back. He stepped outside the house. The road was empty, but from every corner, it felt like someone was watching him. A flash of lightning tore through the sky, and in that light, he saw an old building in the distance, the place the diary had called him to. Ethan took a deep breath and walked into the darkness. When Ethan entered the building, the door closed behind him on its own. The darkness was so deep that even his own shadow disappeared. Only the faint light of the diary was guiding the way. The old words written on the walls made his heart pound harder, as if they held a message for him. Ethan stopped. The diary opened on its own, and the words began to glow. He who sees today will live tomorrow. In that moment, he felt someone breathing beside him, an unknown face close to him in the darkness. Ethan hesitantly turned his face, and his heart suddenly stopped. When Ethan turned around, there was a shadow in front of him, a face he had never seen before, but its eyes were just like his own. The shadow softly said, "I am your end." Ethan's body shivered, and the diary fell to the ground and began to turn to ashes. He understood that now he had to face the truth. A bright light spread like lightning inside the building. Ethan felt as if his entire past, every mistake, every hidden memory was standing in front of him. He realized that warning before death was not just a message in words. It was the verdict of his own destiny. He closed his eyes, took one last breath, and the darkness swallowed everything.